Okay, here we are, and welcome everyone for another day of casting Alchemy League Season 6. Today we have two sets from Sprint 1. First of all, we're going to have Kingofn00b5 against GDR Makdek, also known as Loredek. Now this was played, as you can see, in round 4 of Sprint 1. And then we'll have Plotterghost against Superhero. Again, this was played in Sprint 1, but in round 3, as you can see by the first map of the set. So, let's quickly introduce all 4 players we're going to be seeing today, and then we can jump into the draft itself. So, Kingofn00b5, as you can see, he is about 1700 elo-wise, player from Italy, who I believe started playing with us in the previous season. And since then, he has improved quite a bit, elo-wise, because if I'm not mistaken, when he started playing in Season 5, he was around 1500. And now he's gone all the way up to 1700. So that's quite good. That's a good improvement in what? I think it was 5 months, maybe? Something like that. Now, as for his opponent, it's going to be Makdek, also known as Loredek, another player from Italy. He is slightly lower, elo-wise, at the moment, but, as I mentioned, Kingofn00b5, he got to this elo quite recently, whereas Loredek has been sitting at this elo for a little bit longer. He also tends to play more team games rather than 1v1s. So he might be slightly higher than the amount of elo you see right here. So overall, maybe slight advantage elo-wise for Kingofn00b5, but still quite a balanced set, and I would give Loredek the experience advantage, if you will. Now, for our second set, we're going to be having Superhero 55. He is a player from Pakistan, and he is sitting around 1500 at the moment. But as you can see, he has a highest of 1600. And his opponent is going to be Plotterghost, who is sitting at 1500 himself. Now, both Plotterghost and Superhero, they've been with the league for quite some seasons right now, for the time. So, as far as custom maps go, they're going to be quite experienced in how to deal with them, what to do on them, and so on. So, those were the players. Let's take a look at the draft for the first set. So, as I mentioned, round 4, so the map for game 1 is going to be Lagoon Forest. And then, as you can see, by banning 3 maps each, Confluence was the one left over. So game 2 is going to be on Confluence. As for civs, we have the usual 5 random admin bans done by the bot. We can see Mayans, Saracens, Gurjaras, Armenians, and Sicilians banned. And then Kingofn00b5 went on to ban Portuguese and Koreans, got his Japanese pick sniped, and was left with Ethiopians, Bengalis, and Malay. Whereas Makdek, he banned Italians and Byzantines, got his Dravidians sniped, and was left with Persians, Malians, and Georgians. So overall, seeing as we have a kind of hybrid / water map in Confluence, we can see why, for example, Kingofn00b5 would go for Malay, and Makdek would go for Persians and Malians. Georgians can be played on pretty much any map. I'm actually surprised he got those left. And Ethiopians, they're quite an interesting choice. I think we've seen them before on Lagoon Forest. And I cannot remember whether they won there or not. So, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so that was the draft. without further ado, let's jump into the first game on Lagoon Forest. And here we are. So, we have Persians for Loredek, here in the red. And for King of Noobs, we have Ethiopians, and he's playing in the blue. Okay, so I was not expecting Persians here. I was expecting him to be playing those on Confluence, because Persians are great on hybrid maps, and it's true you have fish and water here, but it's going to take a while to get there, right? You have to cut through the woodlines, so it's not as immediate as it would be on a standard hybrid map. Ethiopians, on the other hand, they're quite a good choice for this, right? This map could play out a little bit like Black Forest, although we've seen people go very aggressive on this one, so Ethiopians, they're kind of good in both situations, right? If you're going aggressive, you have amazing archers, you have amazing spikes with the uptimes because of the free food and the free gold. And then if you're playing this Black Forest style, so if you're walling up and just booming and then attacking with a strong force, Ethiopians can do that very well, because normally you want a good pike siege in Civilization on Black Forest, and Ethiopians can do that very well. They have basically everything at the Siege Workshop, except for the elephants, because those are exclusive to the Indian civilizations. They do have fully upgraded halberdiers. No real bonuses on their halberdiers, aside from getting the pike upgrade for free. But still, they're respectable. And in Imperial Age, they could also get the unique tech for their siege units, which will give them more blast damage. Or rather, sorry, more blast radius, not damage. So overall, on this kind of map, I slightly prefer the Ethiopians, right? Even if you're going aggressive, I know Persians can do a very good scout rush. But then again, it's easy to wall. So I'd rather have a good archer civ in this situation. But that's maybe just my, just my personal preference. And sorry, I forgot to change this. Alchemy League. Season 6, there we go. Sorry about that. This is not a best of 5, it's a play all 2. Okay, so for the time being, both players just playing this quite standard. I see 3 on wood for each, which makes me think they're not going to be playing the Boomy game. And do they know where their opponent is? They don't. They actually spawn very close, that's something I forgot to mention. And Kingofn00b5 is already going for a barracks, so yeah, this is going to be an aggressive play. There is going to be no booming from the players. Also, it's important to notice that both players went for the woodlines on the edge of the map. That might be because once you cut through, you have access to the ponds, right? And as you can see, the ponds on the edges of the map, they're bigger, and they tend to have fish and oysters. Whereas if you go for the ones towards the middle of the map, you only have oysters. And, well, sometimes you can get fish as well, but it's mostly oysters. So cutting for this is going to give you access to both extra food and gold in the long run. Okay, we have a barracks now for Magdak. He has no villagers on gold, so this is going to be scouts, most likely. Kingofn00b5, on the other hand, 2 on gold. He's going to go archers. And he might actually be able to afford man-at-arms by the time he gets to feudal. Actually, he will definitely be able to. Because once he gets to feudal, he gets 100 extra food and gold. And that's basically going to be paying for his man-at-arm upgrade. Scout ran underneath the TC for a moment, but now... Oh, actually, oh no. It was just villagers shanking him. But now Kingofn00b5 has a good idea where his opponent is. Loredek, on the other hand, doesn't. And he's going this way with the scout. He probably thought his opponent's scout came from this side. Now he's trying to drop the stable. There's the man-at-arm upgrade from Kingofn00b5. And Kingofn00b5, I think... Yeah. He's going around. And he's going to get to the wood line. And Loredek, he's chasing this one. So he might not be able to scout this. This is going to hurt him. He sees the militia now. Man-at-arm comes in right now. And this should be at least one build dead. Yep. Kingofn00b5 blocking. Yeah, that's good value. And now Loredek is off wood. On this map you have the stragglers which are quite far away from the TC. So that's going to be a little bit annoying. And he will have to fight men-at-arms with the scouts. Which is not ideal. As we can see, Kingofn00b5 already going for a single spearman. Because I believe he saw the stable. Let me check. Yeah, he knows about the stable. Okay, Kingofn00b5 is housed at the moment. He already has archers in queue. He's going to get his blacksmith up, and then I would not be surprised if he walled this. Right, he's going to slowly wall from the blacksmith to the archer range to close this area. He already has a house here, so he could just wall this. And then if he walls this, he's going to be safe. Okay, now the number of villagers on the woodline is going to be a little bit too high for Kingofn00b5 to take that fight with the man-at-arms. One man-at-arm went down, so he's left with 2 plus a spear. Now that spear is going to make it awkward for the scouts to engage, but it's not going to help too much against the villagers. Might get another kill. No, okay. That's unfortunate. Yeah, and Loredek is going to wall this. He knows he's got a couple of weak vills. He could take them back to the TC and drop a couple of farms, but yeah. He's just going to wall this up and play it safe. He could then just wall it this way and he's going to be okay. We got fletching coming in, archers coming forward. These scouts have no upgrades yet. Speaking of upgrades, Loredek a little bit ahead with the economic ones. Okay, he's going to drop the archer range now. He knows about the archers. He's going to switch into skirmishers. And honestly, these 5 scouts could go forward instead of staying here, right? They can outrun the archers. They can outrun the militia and the spearmen. He could just go forward and try and do some damage to his opponent or distract him. Because now Loredek is quite safe behind this. Right, he's going to be able to get this gold once he wants to go up. He's got his horse collars tech. Kingofn00b5 getting it now. After dropping 8 farms already. And yeah, I think Loredek overall has defended quite well. But I don't like what he's doing with the scouts. These scouts here are doing nothing, basically. Just take them and go forward and try to do some damage. Use the mobility. Okay, Kingofn00b has finished well on this side. I'm not a huge fan of using only houses. Mostly because if you want to drop a second range in the front, you will have to delete a house that might house yourself. It's not the best feeling, but at the same time, it's safer, right? It's going to be harder for Loredek to break through houses than it is to break through palisades. And given the advantage Kingofn00b has right now, playing it safe might be the best approach. Or rather, the better one, not the best. Okay, Loredek now going to gold. He stopped unit production. He's got quite a bit of wood in his stockpile. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a market from him. Also, I don't know if it shows on the stream, but capture rate is being a little bit laggy for me. So, before we get into the second game, I'm going to restart it. I'm going to finish this game and then restart it. Yeah, these archers with the skirms over here are not going to do anything for the time being. Do we have... Yeah, we do have fletching from both players, so... The archers are not going to be able to outrange Loredek's units. We have a market from Loredek, who's probably going to buy his way up to castle. But Kingofn00b, he is almost in castle age. And Loredek will probably be going to the market and sell everything the moment he sees castle age. Yeah. I mean, he didn't have to sell that much. And for the time being, he's still safe. I would like to see a tower on that gold. Right, because now the skirmishers, they're going to be outranged by the crossbows. So you can no longer defend this area with just skirmishers. I would drop a tower. Maybe take 3 vills from the farms and get 30 with stone just to be able to drop a second TC after that tower. Or just break these 2 palisades and drop a TC on this gold, right? Here in the middle, it's going to protect this gold and give you access to this one as well. We have a forward siege workshop from Kingofn00b. That's going to hurt. So Loredek under a bit of pressure. He still has nice resources behind this. He is ahead eco-wise. Or rather, he is ahead in villager numbers, not in resources collected, and that's due to him being Persians, so his TC is working faster. But Ethiopians have a very good 1 TC play if they want to. I mean, Kingofn00b dropped a second TC. There's going to be another TC from Loredek here. I do not like that. Because the way the gold is positioned, Kingofn00b could just sit here with the crossbows, deny the gold, and not get hit by the TC if he wanted to. And he has a siege workshop before. I mean, I think Loredek didn't know about the siege workshop until now. But Kingofn00b5 could just roll this way with the Mangonel and get the TC from here and take the gold. Right, I'd rather see a tower here and a second TC here, which is not visible to his opponent, so it is safer both as a position and as, you know, map knowledge. Okay, Loredek got both Elite Skirm and he's going into Knights. Those Knights have no upgrades whatsoever though. No bloodlines, no armor, no attack. If Loredek can distract the crossbows, the Knights might be able to snipe the Mangonels, which is going to give him some time. Ooh, almost got hit by the stones. Where's that militia? Oh, okay, it's over there. Now, the good thing here for Loredek is that he is Persians, so this DC has double the HP compared to his opponent, so it's going to be very hard to push with Mangonels. He might be able to snipe the siege. Yes, he will. 1, 2. Might be able to get the third. He gets rocked to the face though. So he lost all of his army and took down 3 Mangonels. Is that worth it? I'm not sure. Okay, Siege Workshop for Loredek now. He does have access to gold and wood, so he should be able to build Mangonels of his own. He just needs to be careful not to roll them underneath the TC. So back home, Kingofn00b5's. His eco is fine. It's not the greatest, but it is fine. He is ahead now in villagers. Has he dropped a dock? Not yet. It's understandable. He wants to take a look at this. He's too focused. He's not going to be able to spare any APM for dropping the dock, making the fishing ships, and taking this. He added monastery. Now, Ethiopians, I doubt they get... Yeah, they do not get redemption. So he's not going to be able to use the monks to defend from Loredek's Mangonels. I think the monks are there just to convert any knight that might be coming out to snipe the Mangonels. Now, Loredek, he's able to take down 2 Mangonels with his own. Quick reminder that maybe you cannot see it that clearly here, but you do have your TC, your starting TC on a hill on this map. So, if you're getting your TC pushed and you defend with Mangonels, you're most of the times you're going to have the hill advantage with your own Mangonel, so it's kind of easier. I mean, you still need to hit, but when you hit, you're going to be able to do much more damage, and when you get hit, you'll be getting less damage. Loredek almost loses the Mangonel here to the opponent. And I heard a fishing ship. There we go. Okay, yeah. So yeah, now that Kingofn00b5 got pushed back a little, he has more time to focus on developing his eco. He is ahead in vills, so that's going to be nice for him. Finally drops the dock. Loredek needs to be careful not to lose 2 Mangonels to a single one. He saw the flags on the Siege Workshop. Oh, nice! Nice awareness from Loredek. Cool. I would say he's now in a nice position. I know he's still behind in villagers, but he's Persians, right? So he's going to be producing faster, he's going to catch up in no time, and he's dropping his third TC. Kingofn00b5 still has an army, but that army is vulnerable to the Mangonels. There's now 3 of them. this area, yeah, that's not going to be an overchop anytime soon. And Loredek can just reposition his villagers. Actually, does he know about that gold? Yeah, he knows about the gold. I'm surprised this TC was here and not here. Oh, and we have Imperial from Kingofn00b5. Okay. That is probably the best call, right? You know, you are no longer pushing the Persians, and you're probably not going to be able to do it at this stage of the game now that they have triple mangonels. So going up to the next stage and using that power spike to have a better push is the best choice, because once he gets to Imperial, his crossbowmen will be outranging the mangonels. So the mangonels are not going to be able to be that much of a threat. We have a forward castle, that's nice. Stonewall's here for Loredek. He wants to have nothing to do with potential raids from his opponent. Hey Tech, welcome. Welcome, welcome. We just started with the first set. We are in game 1, which I believe is going to be... I was about to say it's going to be over in a bit, but Loredek getting closer and closer to Imperialate. He might be able to get up by selling the wood. Ooh, and Kingofn00b5 still had no wheelbarrow. Getting Arbalester and Bracer. Still no chemistry. Which I'm not a fan of. I'd rather see chemistry instead of Arbalester right away. That way you get access to the bomber cannons as well. And we have stone walls from Loredek. Nice, nice. This is going to delay even more Kingofn00b5's push. And it is going to give Loredek more time to get up to Imperial himself. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Loredek should be able to click any moment now. I think he's missing the buildings. Let me check. Yeah, he just rushed down the university. So now he needs to be able to survive for 2 minutes and a half. He is dropping stables, getting bloodlines and forging. So he is thinking about a cavalry switch. Do we have royal hairs? No, not yet. And now Kingofn00b5 is... He's going to get through, and we have 45 Arbalesters on the field. This is going to hurt. Yeah, I can see why of the reason behind the knight switch. I just think he doesn't have the eco for the time being to be able to produce knights. But then again, you cannot really go skirms in this situation because you're up against Ethiopian Arbalester, and you do miss Bracer as Persian, so you're going to get outranged by your opponent. Now Kingofn00b5 though, he's getting the armor upgrade. I don't know if he's thinking about the shuttle switch, or if he's going to get, or if he's getting that preemptively to later on switch into halberdiers, because he thinks his opponent is going to go knight. True, they do get onager, but no siege engineers. Honestly, I wouldn't mind maybe Siege Ram in this situation. Although, yeah, he doesn't have the eco for that either. And yeah, it was a Halberdier switch from Kingofn00b5, who I believe is going to be taking this game. That Persian TC surely has more HP, but it's not enough to withstand the trebuchet. And now, yeah, the eco difference is now pretty big. Loredek is beneath, almost going lower than 80 pop. Sorry, 80 vills. Kingofn00b5 just rising and rising. Yeah, I think he's not raiding because he's afraid of the Persian Knights. So he doesn't want to lose precious units just to kill a couple of bills. And there's TCs anyway, so he cannot really go too far in. Now that he has halberdiers, he can now push. Right, he could even stop making arbalesters. He has a good ball anyway. And I mean, it's Ethiopian arbalesters. You cannot take this fight like this. Yeah. And Loredek calls the GT. So, 1-0 for Kingofn00b5 for the time being. Well played to him. I think both players played well. Maybe... Yeah, I was thinking about what Loredek could have done differently. It was a little bit unfortunate the way his opponent's man-at-arms got into the woodline, because Loredek didn't scout his opponent in Dark Age, so I think he believed the TC was right here. And to be fair, Loredek still doesn't know where his opponent's main TC is. So yeah, that was rough. Now let's take a look at statistics. Yeah, more economy for Kingofn00b5. And all of that. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to restart Capture Age because it's being quite laggy for me. So I'm going to restart both the game and Capture Age, and we'll see if that ends up working. Kingofn00b5 was in the offensive all game, yeah, and I think it's the way he should have played that matchup, right? You do not want to give Persians the chance to boom, especially when they have the Savar and all of their and the access to all of their techs. Okay, let me restart Capture Age. Also, I think Ethiopians, they want to play on archers, so it is kind of easier for them to keep making army and then have an eco behind that, compared to, say, playing scouts and knights. It's just smoother to do a 1TC play with archers and then from there go up to imp than doing it with knights. Capture it is just not loading. I mean, my game is being quite laggy as well, so maybe it's... Okay, here we are. I'm afraid it might be a PC issue. I'm not sure why, but we'll see. Why are you not showing capture age? One sec, I don't know why it's being like this. Okay, now it's showing. Perfect. Okay. So here we are, second game on Confluence. We have Bengalis for Kingofn00b5 in the blue against Loredek, aka MacTech, in the red, playing as Malians, and capture rate is still laggy. So yeah, I think it is a PC issue here. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'll be restarting my PC mid stream unless this becomes unwatchable. So let's just try to work with that. Oh, I think I still haven't read the Season 8 handbook, so I will have to take a look at that when I get the chance. And okay, speaking of this matchup, we have Bengalis against Malians. So both saves are quite good in water/hybrid situations. I would say Bengali is probably better on the pure water maps because they do get Bracer and they have regenerating ships. Malians, on the other hand, they do not have a proper water bonus. They lack Bracer and they even lack Galleon. Oh, okay. That's rough. I mean, they do get fast fire, but they lack Galleons, which is... That said, this is a mostly fires map, so maybe lacking Galleon is not that much of a big deal here. Now, that said, they do not have a proper water bonus, but they do have cheaper buildings when it comes to wood. So, until we get to Imperial, he's probably going to have a smoother play, if you will. Also, Bengalis, they do get 2 free villagers. Oh, Loredek got the sheep. Okay. I missed that. Okay, no, I think I'm going to restart my PC after this game. This is kind of annoying, to be honest. So, back to my point, Bengalis, they do not really get a bonus in Dark Age. So they're going to have nothing to help them until Feudal for this kind of build. So for the time being, slight advantage to Loredek, who we see already has a ship out. He was kind of unfortunate with the dock placement. So his fishing ships are going to be not that efficient for a while. Whereas Kingofn00b5, they have that fish close to the docks, so that's nice. And this might actually hinder... Okay, no, Loredek now knows about the fishing spot, and he's thinking, well, this and this are equally inefficient, but this is going to be an issue for my opponent. And he gets the Vil. Despite the fact we have Loom for Kingofn00b5, but that's because this shoreline is on the hill. So... Oh, no, it's coming in now. Okay, I thought you already had it. Okay, yeah, that's... Yeah. So, no loom on top of being hit from uphill. That's rough. And Loredek, he is up. Okay, we have feudal age now from Kingofn00b5, who is already going to farms. Which is... kind of a weird choice. I mean, he's invested a mill. He's investing into a mill and a single farm, so he's not going to be able to keep up with the ship production. Okay, barracks, so maybe he's thinking about some land pressure. He's probably thinking there isn't that much fish, so maybe to him it's not worth it to fight for the water. And to a certain degree, he's not that wrong, right? But the water is going to be useful for map control, right? If you do not have access to the water, then your opponent cannot... Oh, sorry. If your opponent is the one controlling water, then you have no way to get to his base. Loredek up to feudal, immediately going for the fires. And he's walling. And now Kingofn00b5, after making a single barracks, he is now going for the dock. That's going to be an issue. Because now he will not have the wood for a feudal age military building, and he's not going to have the wood for keep up with the fire galley production. I mean, maybe he's going to have the wood, but he doesn't have enough villagers on gold. 3 villagers for 2 docks with fires is not enough. As you can see, Loredek has 5 on gold, which should be barely enough. He's not going to be able to float gold, but he's going to have enough to keep up the production. And we have a 3rd dock from Loredek. Okay, he's going heavy into water. Oh, you wish the river was narrower. I think if it was, we wouldn't see this amount of water play, though. I think it would be just straight land. Unless the river was narrower with less ways to access the other side. So let's say it's narrower and this are not there, so the only way to access is this. Then yeah, we do see water play. But if it becomes too narrow and... Ooh, careful. Oh, there was a demo and capture rates lagged right at that moment. I mean, I will agree that this map has been water most of the time, but there have been a couple of times where people just snuck a vill or just went for navy plus land military, and I think it's not an issue with the map, because you do have, so players are most of the times are going to be playing on this area between the two TCs. Nothing is preventing them from taking a vill, sneaking this way, and say build a range or a stable right here and be annoying with that. So going for a, let's say, kind of a landing on this map is easier than the way you would do it on islands, for example. Because on islands, if you want to go for land pressure, you would have to invest into a transport ship. Whereas here, you don't really need to do that, right? You just send the vill. And we do have an archer here for Kingofn00b5. The archer range is at home, though. And I'm so sorry about the lag with capture raids, it's so annoying. And I don't know what is causing it. I know it's not a hardware issue because it just isn't, so it might be a software issue. So yeah, after this one I'm definitely restarting the PC. Okay, Kingofn00b getting through with 2 archers. There's a tower though. Second tower from Loredek, who I think, yeah, he has... Yeah, he must have bought the stone. This is nice. I think... Oh yeah, that's a scout. So I see he's left with 45, so I think he built an outpost, but I'm not too sure where. Oh, there it is. Okay. And yeah, Loredek, he has 1 water. Oh, and Kingofn00b5 just calls the GG there. Yeah, he knows. He has no water access. He is feudal age against castle age. Malians, they do have good knights, and he sees the stable. He's open, so those knights are going to be able to just run in. And yeah, calls the GG. Loredek taking the game and tying up the set. 1-1. So let's take a quick look at statistics. Okay, economy-wise, oh yeah, almost 1k resources ahead. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to restart my PC. I think I'm going to be back in 4, maybe 5 minutes. Shouldn't take too long.